Hello to whoever you are, wherever you may be listening, and welcome to This Is Your Moment podcast, hosted by TiYM Network.
TiYM, TiYM, stands for This Is Your Moment.
The mission of TiYM is to transform sexual health education through engaging, accessible, as well as stigma-free media that support different organizations, professionals, and creatives.
Where our vision is to create a community where everyone has access to vital information, education, and resources.
We want to be that trusted source for sexual health media, advancing health education and uplifting all communities, diverse communities.
So on behalf of the TiYM team, we would like to give a special shout out and thank you to Counter Narrative Project and Vive Healthcare for sponsoring this media storytelling grant to allow us to make this podcast possible. Thank you. Now you've heard our voices and you've seen our faces. I think it's time that we actually introduce ourselves. My name is Alfonso Mills. I have the pleasure of being the executive director of This Is Your Moment Network. And my special superpower are my hugs. If you have ever received a hug from me, you know that I take them seriously. And I really try to help people feel better than they did before the embrace.
My name is Tony Newman Jr. I am a Marine Corps veteran. I am a graduate student, a researcher, business owner, do so many things. But with TiYM Network, I am the assistant executive director.
My name is Christian Dacus. I'm the media director for TiYM Network. And my superpower is helping people craft their stories and their narratives.
My name is Royce Pearson, Director of Photography and Assistant Director of Media. My superpower is observation. Everyone, everywhere, every minute. If you know, you know.
Hello, my name is Jaquan Rich. I am the Director of Production with TiYM Network. And my special skill or superpower is bringing things together. I really love producing things. I really love bringing things, making things work, making things fit into place and bridging gaps to just make everything work. I really feel like that's my superpower. It's always finding a way.
I'm Kennedy Loman. I am the Assistant Director of Production and Partnership. My superpower is I'm the plug.
So TiYM Network was started from a grant that I applied for where I wanted to create a web series that showcased a person living with HIV, but didn't make HIV this overbearing, taunting thing that they were going through. I wanted to be able to show somebody navigating life with family, work, education, all of the things with HIV just being a part of the story. And so in applying for this grant, they said, well, you have to have a team because like anything good, you can't do it by yourself. So I hosted a meeting at my house and invited some of the most talented people that I knew in my circle and brought them together to let them know about the grant that I applied for and say, okay, this is what I'm thinking. This is just kind of the way that I am envisioning this. What are your thoughts?
About 4 years ago, Alfonso Mills, who was a good friend of mine, called me up and said, hey, I have an idea for a project, and I really want your help on this with your background in communications and visual media. I think you can really be an asset to the team. He pitched this idea to me, and immediately I was like, yes, this is a perfect combination of my skill sets, my networking, and just the work that we have done together in the past.
So when someone that you admire and that you look up to, when they reach out to you and ask to be a part of something, you trust them, at least trust them enough to hear them out. And once you shut up and listen, if you like what you hear and you're willing to do it for free, you just do it. You put your heart into it, you put your soul into it. And that's pretty much what I did. That's how I felt. Wasn't sure how I could contribute to TiYM, but I did know that I want to be a part of something that was going to be life-changing, not just for myself or the TiYM management team, but for others, for whole communities, for those who are open to it. Hell, some days I still don't know what I'm doing, but I'm doing it anyway. And that's how you're supposed to do it. So, just do it.
I was going through a very rough patch. I had just lost one of my brothers, and I was really in a space where I didn't want to do anything. I was just laying in the bed, and Alfonso contacted me, and it was actually, I think it was just checking in on me as he always does, and asked me if I was open to come to do some filming. We wanted to do some filming, and I told myself that day, something just told me to get up and to go do it, so I wasn't sitting in my slumber or sitting in my slump anymore. And it was one of the best things that I've done for myself, because it really gave me something else to believe in, something else to live for, something else to look forward to in a time where I just didn't feel like there was much left for me. So that's how I got involved with TiYM. I just continued to show up. I tried to see how much more I could get involved. What could I do? Where can you use me? I didn't know what I was going to be doing when I first came in. I came in for acting, and now I'm in this wonderful position. And so, in my opinion, I got involved with TiYM because I needed the time back in my life.
In true Alfonso fashion, they had a way of pulling me in on this particular project, and I didn't really realize I was a part of it until I was in the weeds during the planning process. They gave me a brief rundown of TiYM and said, I think your skills would be a great addition to the team. I'm having a meeting to discuss TiYM a little bit further. Call it a meeting of the minds, if you will.
What started off as a web series then grew to, hold on, why are we just doing a web series? We should also have a news segment and a cooking show and some game shows, and brought together an amazing videographer, an amazing multimedia specialist, Christian Dacus, and an amazing administrator and an amazing organizer, and a person that's just going to get it done, Tony Newman. And we all put our brains together and we're like, hold on, I think we're on to something here.
We had minimal equipment, basic equipment. We kind of really just did this as a mock-up, almost like a prototype. And it was so well received. And from that point, it just grew and grew. We brought in some other colleagues of ours, people who we had worked with back as youth HIV policy advisors with Georgia Equality. Shout out to Emily Halden Brown for coordinating and facilitating that work group. But yeah, we learned a lot through those experiences, and we could all take our expertise and really bring it to this project to make it what it is today. And the rest is history.
The plan was to just go in, get naked and get the business. That was it.
I'm with the freaky stuff. Tell me more.
I don't even know why I'm telling you this.
No. Tell me more.
Shit. Well, that's when things got strange, man.
Did y'all use rubbers, though?
No, man, we probably should have moved a little slower on that.
You undetectable. You're not passing nothing on to nobody else. You taught me that. You just got to take care of yourself, man.
But it's different when you add someone else to the mix, man. I woke up burning.
Burning?
Yeah, man, I think Trey burnt me.
Yo, did you tell Andre?
Just found out this morning.
For trans women who see cis women in a different light, it's because I think it's all based on assumptions.
The fear of being rejected, the fear of dying, the fear of infecting someone else.
You should vet your doctors. You should start asking questions. You need to
Absolutely.
find out, is an ulterior motive.
What I find pleasurable, someone else might not find pleasurable, but with that, I lead with my health.
And if I can't open up and be honest, how can I heal something I won't face?
Welcome to This Is Your Moment podcast. What to expect from this season of TiYM Podcast? We're bringing together diverse perspectives and thoughts, hearing from community leaders about how we can help save and serve Georgia.
Exploring HIV amongst women and unpacking the relationship between Black, cis, and trans women.
We are having intergenerational conversations with over 30 years of age differences to talk about things that we can learn from each other, but then also better ways for us to cohabitate in the gay community.
Unpacking different taboo topics, like sex and how to connect, and but to do everything safely.
We really talk about sex education and sexual health in a way that's not commonly talked about. You can expect to hear real perspectives from real people and real situations.
And then if you don't get what you wanted to hear or see, let us know that too. That should probably be a podcast too, all in itself.
How do we describe prevention?
Prevention to me is doing the necessary work and research to find out how to prevent trauma, harm, chaos, or anything detrimental to a person's life.
Prevention looks like PrEP, pre-exposure prophylactics. It looks like anything that prevents you from acquiring any STI or a sexual health related issue.
How do we describe peace?
You will know what your peace looks like. You will know what peace is when you find it and you have it taken away.
The ability to live your life as you choose to, as long as it doesn't harm anyone else.
Being so comfortable and confident in who you are and what you bring that nothing around shifts that. You actually shift the things around you.
How would you describe pleasure?
I do feel when it comes to pleasure that a lot of folks are scared to tell people what they actually like, what actually gives them pleasure. I assume that it's because of some folks being very traditional and closed-minded, which can lead to judgment and stigma. But I think it's just time to have more conversations and talk about it. What's a safe and informative way to talk about how to, reach your pleasure levels?
I would describe pleasure as liberation. It is being so in tune to the things that you enjoy, or the person or people that you choose to enjoy yourself with, and really being present in that moment to gain everything that it has.
Speaking of pleasure, the community seems to have lost its desire for pleasure and skips to just instant satisfaction or just a quick release.
We want to bring education on sexual health tools to put them back into play and at use for people to get back to enjoying sex.
We understand HIV has an impact on our liberation, and fear plays a part in that. We want people to know the facts.
A myth that I have heard in regards to HIV is, and something that I actually believed myself for a really long time, is that after you get diagnosed, there's no way for you to have kids, have offspring biologically. And I'm here to tell you that not only is that so false, my partner and I have both proved that false twice. You can still have kids, and your kids can be HIV negative, even though you are a person with HIV.
Another myth that I have heard is that once you are exposed to HIV, there's nothing you can do but get on medication, and you will be on that medication for the rest of your life. This is actually not entirely true. If you are exposed to HIV, you have about a 72-hour window where you can take post-exposure prophylactics, PEP. Now, a post-exposure prophylactic is something that, if taken in enough time, can keep the virus from spreading within your system.
A myth that I've heard is that you have to use substances to make sex better or more pleasurable or more intimate. But in real time, substances can oftentimes reduce your sensitivity. It can impair your sexual functioning, such as erections or arousals, or even your climax when you're supposed to be at that level.
Thank you for listening to TiYM Podcast.
Like, share, and subscribe.
Our remaining episodes will feature guests sharing their in-depth stories from their perspectives.
You can watch the full episodes on YouTube, or you can go to our website, www.TiYM.net.
Thank you to our supporters and our sponsors for funding our project.
Don't forget, this is my moment too.